Well, not having the fundamentals dialed in is an easy way to get confused. So I was watching a video. So I try and find all content I can find about author ads, author fiction ads. So one author, which um, this person was in, I think, info products and then moved to fiction. So his approach to ads, in my past videos, I've talked about cross training. So in his past ads, he used to have to use principles that are very different from what authors use, and he was talking about selling the click in your ad rather than selling the books, cause your Amazon blab and all the landing page, the reviews, does a good job of selling compared to the little real estate you have to sell using the ad. Same with if you're sending customers to a landing page to help you sell the ad. And again, sell the click, don't sell the book. And he had principles that follow this one rule. But in the comment section, there was one new author, fairly new author, who was confused. He had just bought a course uh, that was totally different from the principles in this new webinar, and it was confusing. And the reason why this is so is because for majority of us, we exist. If you draw a curve, a majority of us exist in the middle. The edge cases are for people who love exploring, people who are deep into ads to a point they've mastered the fundamentals that they can go and paint on the edges. So one way to ground yourself, no matter what changes, no matter which new ad guru comes and has a different perspective, is to master the fundamentals of what Facebook uh, ads are and how they work. Okay, so ideally, this method is centers around do not reveal all the information in the ad. Create a bit of curiosity and get them to click. So that's the aim. So from someone who's mastered the fundamentals, you would see, okay, I could see how I could use this, and I could see the things I would put in place, the guardrails I would put in place to figure out the moments where things are not going well, when to tweak stuff, when to maintain a balance between that approach and the traditional approach. Again, majority of us exist in the middle. So whenever you get approaches that are too different, look at what a majority of people are using. Exist there. Use that as your baseline, okay? And then you can use that knowledge and that knowledge to determine how far you go with the new approaches. So one fundamental to keep in mind is this: Facebook needs data, okay? And uses that data to make decisions. So send the wrong data, you get wrong results. That's one. Send the wrong data, get wrong results. Okay? Sounds simple, but this is a governing thing that will help you throughout. It applies in our sell the click perspective. Sell the click, don't sell the book principle this way. If I'm selling a click, okay, and my ad, let's say my ad is a headline, just something as simple as she thought he was dead. Now she thought she was dead, but what happened last night has her thinking, has her confused. Okay, that is a bit vague and is curiosity magnet. Okay, But for Facebook, if you're starting from scratch and you send this data to Facebook uses it to find people. Okay, it will find people of different types. Again, that's data you are feeding Facebook. Feed the wrong data. If the wrong pocket of people click on this ad, on this thing, some of let's say people who follow psychological thriller movies or TVs, and they are not readers, no particular reading behavior over the past year, and Facebook gets this data, especially if you're using traffic ads, which are a bit atypical in how we authors use it as opposed to how the rest of the world uses it. We don't get to tell Facebook the people that are actually buying on Amazon. We're just telling people, just telling Facebook, find me people who will click, and Facebook finds you people who will click, and according to Facebook, it's done its job. Now, if you send the wrong type of data, these pockets of people who are gamers, who are, if you're doing romance, who are just curious, horny people who just like to see some skin and click, and you're sending that type of data, it will confuse the algorithm. Now, it might confuse the algorithm. So if 100 people try a specific technique, there is a chance, let's say, whether it's 20, whether it's 30%, there's a chance for a portion of us, we're going to have bad results. And instead of just blindly or offering a blanket statement of, oh, this person's approach does not work, you need to know the fundamentals. You go back to the fundamental of Facebook needs data and uses that data to make decisions. Now let me go to the Facebook ads dashboard, and I'll show you how to approach that. Now if you see something is going wrong, so your first instinct should be find data. Facebook wants data, you also want data. Find data around what is performing and what is not performing. Okay, so that means every day, every week, you need to find out what is performing and what is not performing. And how you find out is get as much data as possible. Who is your ad being, when your ads are working, who is your ad typically served to? What age, what gender, what location, what placement on Facebook? Is it on the feed? Is it on the right side column, which I doubt? Is it the reels? So that you have a baseline. Again, that graph, you should have a baseline when things are working well. For another fundamental, have your own data. Data is king. So when you have your own baseline, it's easy now to figure out when you're trying new techniques, off the cuff things you've just come up with. It's easy to know, okay, is it not working because the technique is broken, or is it not working because something has gone off? All right. So if you see all of a sudden you're getting hundreds and hundreds of clicks from audience network, and usually you don't get anything from there, okay, something is off here, and you can correct that specific thing and not throw out the whole technique with the bathwater and just say, oh, this sell the click, don't sell the book technique does not work. Nuance. Okay, so there's a bit of cloud cover and my internet is taking 1,000 years to load, so I'm not gonna show you what I wanted to show you, but go to the ads dashboard and look for the breakdown. It's not a window, just go look for the breakdown feature, or Google it, or go on YouTube and see how to read the breakdown. The breakdown shows you where your money was spent, how your money was spent, if it's where each placement, audience network, reels, feed, Instagram, Facebook, thread, where is your money being spent? If you are a romance author and all of a sudden you figure out 90% of my money is being spent on men, and historically my baseline data shows women are the people buying my books, so that shows you, okay, where to start. If you're all of a sudden something changes, you're getting cheap clicks, cheaper than usual clicks, Facebook is typical. If you see anything that's too different, something might be going on. So go to your placements, go to the breakdown, then go to placements and see what is happening. Am I getting placements from somewhere else that might be bringing garbage traffic? Audience network sometimes. Am I getting ages that or genders that are usually not typical of what my buyer persona is? So this sometimes Facebook gets bits of information and gets stuck on a loop, and the loop keeps on, and sometimes you'd need to interfere and pause a campaign or restart a campaign because it's in a loop, or change something in the campaign because it's in the wrong loop. Okay, so that fundamental is important. So another fundamental that you should keep in mind is you, or rather your content. This is more so right now with the new algorithm. Your content is the best form of direction for Facebook. That means if something is going wrong, go to your content first and see. This is where AI comes in. Feed AI, whether you are AI positive or AI negative, that's your decision. But feed AI your ad copy, feed AI your ad image, and see, am I directing Facebook somewhere else, and it's held on to that bit of data and run with it, and it's in a loop again and again. So that means if, for example, taking the principle which I love, sell the click, don't sell the book. If I'm using so I'm selling let's say I'm selling a romance series, and instead of using a book cover, I've just used an image, the six-pack image, muscled man, and nothing to do with book, and all of a sudden I'm getting lots of clicks. So I've checked and I've seen no men are not clicking my thing. So usually, let's say I checked a few months ago and men were the ones clicking, so that was the problem with my romance ads. Then all of a sudden, this image, the chest image, is getting lots of clicks, but it's not translating to buys, right? So something you need. The data is like this. The baseline is this in the middle, where majority of us exist. For majority of authors, how we signal to Facebook that this is the type of audience we want, and this is the type of product we have. We use book covers. I've gone through the ads library, hundreds and hundreds of ads. By there, there's a romance ad swipe file with 107 ads with commentary. Check it out somewhere. I've created it. You can get it anyway. So that's the baseline. If you're going away from the baseline and you see things in the results, and things are going away from what you were expecting, then rein it back in closer to the baseline. So if the image is just plain and it's attracting the wrong type of audience, okay, so the content is the best form of direction. So Facebook is not taking hints from or Facebook is taking too much of, maybe I gave it just a bit of data and it's taking it literally, and it's not, especially for new accounts. For example, if you have an account that's been selling books over and over, Facebook knows if you give it a plain image, this person wants an audience of readers. But if you are starting on a new account, Facebook has no idea who you want and what you want and when you want them. It might struggle. So if you are using off the cuff ideas or off the baseline ideas, and something is going wrong, go back and figure out what is the baseline book cover. Okay, whatever I'm using is not a book cover. How can I, even if you don't want to use the book cover per se, how can I add more of the baseline back into this image that's on the edge case, something that's off what is typical? Okay, so that could be something like just adding a Kindle Unlimited badge there, or in the description, which people in the when you're doing an ad, the description is about 250 characters, but people usually see the first line. So if it means going, let the first line be what you want to write it, and then the second line be telling Facebook exactly who you want. I want readers of romance. Comp authors are Nora Roberts and XYZ and XYZ. so that you bring a sort of balance. And how would you know this? If you've mastered the fundamentals, your content is the best form of direction for Facebook. Instead of blaming Facebook, which most of us like to do, figure out, okay, what am I doing that might be off? Okay, and then go and Google, especially for agency owners. Just do this. Just Facebook outage, and then site facebook.com, or site, when there's an outage, people will talk about it. So this reddit.com, this search will put you on conversations that are going on toward, and then filter by day about Facebook not working. So sometimes when you see something going wrong, instead of changing, go and do the search first. My internet is dead. Go and do the search first, and then go and tweak. Okay, so these are two fundamental things. There are three really, but your content is the best form of direction, and Facebook gets into loops, data loops. So break the loop. Let me just write it from the Facebook gets into data loops. Feed it the wrong data and it might hold on to the wrong loop. And for other niches, the funnel is set up to self-correct this. So if you're doing sales ads, for example, using your landing page, and you've optimized it to show purchases or add to carts or initiate checkouts, Facebook is finding you people who check out or purchase. So if Facebook has sent you 100 people today, and I've used the plain, I usually use a book cover, and all of a sudden I've used the Manchester image without any signal that this is a book, and Facebook sends you 100 people there, and it realizes 100 of them have not bought. The signal that Facebook looks for to determine success is purchases in such a campaign, so it will self-correct the algorithm. But if you're doing traffic ads and that thing is not there, the data needed for Facebook is not there. It's not inherent in the funnel you're using. You're telling Facebook to give you traffic. Facebook gives you traffic. It does not care whether you get buyers or not. Now, if you're using that means just recognize at the back of your mind, does your strategy give Facebook all the data it needs? If no, then you know Facebook is handicapped, and that means you would need to interfere and stop loops before they happen, because naturally what the built-in mechanism for interrupting those loops, especially for many of us in the author community who are running traffic ads, it is not inherent in the traffic in the strategies we're using. So that means you would need to keep an eye on it. Okay, so that is why you'd find people doing start stop campaigns, and that is why for many of us, I'd say there are few of us actually who do this, but for new campaigns, new creatives, new accounts, if you have money to waste, I love saying this. If you have money to waste, a waste budget, an experiment budget, each company has an R&D budget, right? For R&D budget, you're prepared to waste it. So if you have money to waste, I'd rather have a test campaign that gives me the data I need. That could mean having a landing page with a pixel that sends you data, and then set your pixel to show you page views, and then so when someone clicks on your ad, they click on a link to the landing page. So the creative is the Manchester, okay, Manchester without a book or any. It's just a curious. Let's say it's a plain background, black background with white text that says, "She loved her." Anyway, let me not try and freestyle that. Just a catchy background that is curiosity fueled. someone clicks on that and then goes to a page where I have the Amazon link on there, and then in the pixel you tell Facebook that when someone clicks on this link and that link leads to Amazon, it's either initiate checkout, and when you're running a sales campaign, one of the conversion events, if you are new to this, conversion events is the goal you're giving Facebook. So the goal is, I want someone, Facebook, find me people who will add to cart, find me people who will initiate checkout, find me people who will purchase. As many data points as possible. If you feed Facebook as many data points as possible, the better your campaigns go. That's why I like to, when I'm creating the pixel, I make sure each event is created: page view, initiate checkout, add to cart, and purchase. Okay, so if for my test waste money campaign on the Facebook, someone clicks on the Amazon link, it's initiate checkout. Okay, now let's say I have $50 and I'm doing a set of 5 new creatives, same ad set, they are same concept, so you can put them in the same ad set. Let Facebook try and find you an audience. If Facebook tries and sends your ads to hundreds of people and you hit the right audience, you will know because they'll be clicking on the Amazon link, and Facebook will tell you, okay, initiate checkout, it's working, it's meeting our goal, so let me find more and more people like them. Now that means it's easier to, you've contained the conditions to test that creative. You are sure this creative finds the right people, and you're teaching Facebook to find the right people. Now when you've eliminated room for errors. You have the right creative that finds the right people. You've told Facebook a bit, find me the right people. Let's say it costs $5 for every person that clicks on that. When you go and take that same ad creative using the post ID and take it to your, again, I talked about the curve, the baseline, majority of us, traffic ads, book cover, ad creative. So you take it to that type of campaign instead of the landing page, which is a lot, and say, okay, I'm using this proven creative with proven data, and I'm taking it to the typical to send traffic ads to Amazon. Facebook does not know whether the person they're sending is buying or not. It reduces the risk, because the risk you've taken in the loss. There's a chance you might be sending the wrong people, and Facebook is saying, this image is not getting people who are clicking on. Let's say Facebook is sending the image to men who want, muscles, the abs, and Facebook realizes, this thing is not getting me the right people. It adjusts. So because you're taking a proven creative into a strategy that Facebook is a bit handicapped when it's helping you find readers, it's easier for it now to say, okay, I know this image can find men, but men from my other campaign, men are not the ideal audience for this. Now it's already in the correct loop to finding new readers. Now you'd only know whether to do something like this or not when you know the fundamentals of, it's all about the data, it's all about what you feed it, it's all about what Facebook tells you back. So it tells you what's working or not through, for those doing direct campaigns, through purchases or not. For those doing traffic campaigns, the click-through rate, it tells you the cost per click, CPM. So if you're looking at campaigns based on incomplete data, that is what traffic campaigns are, whether you like it or not. You will get to see, okay, my ad creative is working because it's getting lots of clicks, but is it getting enough buys? So especially that has taken a lot of authors by surprise right now, when we've had periods from, was it March, where we've been getting lots of clicks, low CPMs, but nobody's buying. It's like Facebook opened up its inventory and said, hey, let me throw a few coins to Threads, let me throw a few coins to Audience Network, which has lots of bots, let me throw a few coins here and there, and nobody's buying. So if you're looking at typically you've been looking at the CPM or cost per clicks, or the click-through rate, and all of a sudden the click-through rate is lower than ever, but you're not getting any buys. That means the data loop is a bit broken. And if you've given up and said, okay, I'm not doing it, okay, one way, I'm not saying it's the way, one way of doing this is writing the ship by feeding it the correct data. That means putting your waste budget, $50, $30, and then using a campaign not to make profit, just to correct Facebook and tell it, okay, let me show you who is my audience now, okay? And then after you do that, spend the $50, try and do your campaigns again with the same ad creatives and see if it corrects the ship or not. Sometimes, especially this year, sometimes you can do nothing about it. Perhaps Facebook has just decided to do what it's doing best right now and killing us. But so long as you have the fundamentals, you know, okay, it's all about the data. Find data around what is performing and what is not performing. Your content is the best form of direction for Facebook, and Facebook gets into data loops. So it's up to you, especially if you're using traffic ads, to break those data loops and figure out if they're happening or not, because most of us are not using the breakdown. Actually, my thing loaded, I'll show you what the breakdown feature is. Look for this, but columns, this is what you'll see right next to columns. You have this, it's hidden, it's not labeled. It will take another 1,000 years to load. It's hidden, it's not labeled, but it will show you, it will show you a breakdown of how your money is being spent, how your money is being spent. All right, I'm sure there are a few more fundamentals that I use, but right now they're not top of mind. If they come back to me, I'll make another video, or I'll post this in the comments. Okay, here we go. View breakdown charts. Select the breakdown to see a visual comparison of your performance across segments. This is what you have. Flexible format. Right now, when you create an ad, it allows you to add up to 10 creatives, I think. And before this, it wouldn't show you performance per creative, so I would avoid this. But for now, I've noticed it works. If you add 10 images, it will tell you X amount to spend on this, X amount to spend on that. Okay. Now, if you want that to happen, you select that, and it will show you. You'll see they'll appear here. If I did 5 images, they'll appear there. And then by placement, reels, feed, audience network, by day, by age. If you're getting younger readers and you know your readers are 45 and over, you know something is off today. You don't necessarily need to be tweaking things based every day, because Facebook is sending is spending your money on the wrong things. That is the danger of always being on the breakdown window. Just maybe give it check every 3 days, or on the days that things are really going. Just a minute, I think geography, delivery. I've never used the delivery feature. Or placement, time of day, all these. Now for romance authors, you'll need to check age, gender. Now it's hard to use the breakdown feature if you don't know what success looks like. So on your successful days, when you're starting your campaign and those first 3 days everything is going well, where is Facebook sending its campaign? Where is Facebook spending its money? Have that baseline. And on the 3rd day when things go bad, has anything changed? Sometimes nothing changes here. Okay, so you just need to let it do its thing. But sometimes it changes, and there's often you need to have created an audience. There's also a way to check engaged audience, new audience. Here, demographics, and then go down to audience segments. Now, if you've created audiences, for example, when you go to settings, I think there's audience, and then when you click on that, you can create an audience of people who've engaged with your page. That's clicked, commented, all that. So that will, and you name it engaged audience, and then you run an ad, and then you can go and click an audience. If you have an email, if you have email addresses of your buyers, you can upload them and create an audience of past buyers. And then now when you run ads, you can say, you can check how is Facebook distributing budget between new people, people who've clicked to the on your page before, people who've never clicked on your page. It does this automatically, and you'll notice that the costs are different across different audiences, and sometimes you'll notice that Facebook is retargeting on its own. So this is my bear nowadays, my favorite feature on Facebook. Utilize that. All right, see you next time.